Hello YouTube, Dave_23 here. Welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. In today's episode, it will be Real Madrid. Today's episode, we're starting here in the 94th minute. We are 1-0 up against Gijon. We have dominated with 32 shots, an XG of 3.88, and we've hit the woodwork 5 times, all in the first half. We scored in the 53rd minute, and the reason why we're here is it's a highlight in the 94th minute, and they've just had a throw in. You know what's about to happen. We're about to get absolutely royally screwed and FM'd, and this is the major reason why we can't win the title in this bloody league. Because we do not finish chances, and in every game we get more than 20-something shots, we only score 1 goal. And we have a world-class side. So we're here to watch us concede. Or PTSD and we're about to score and it's going to be 2-0. Nah, another miss. Full time we win 1-0. 4 matches in, we've won them all. 33 shots and XG of 4. Our issue is we can't score. I literally started this episode knowing that we're about to concede there and we didn't. I don't know if there's a way to show you the ones that hit the woodwork, but I will try to very quickly here, YouTube. This is going to be the start of the episode. I need to prove a point. 5 things that hit the woodwork. It was 5. I'm pretty sure I counted 5. Might be 4, might be 6. Analytical data, teams, shots, hit the woodwork. 4. There we go. 4 efforts hit the woodwork. Let's watch them, shall we? We have yet to concede a goal in the league as well, but 4 efforts that are hitting the woodwork, and they're all pretty big chances that we should score. That one's a header over the bar. Clean header. Should be a goal. From Veraaa should at least hit the target. Dethrone finds Marfelt in the Rivieri. Dogana. DOPDA. Open goal. Put it across keeper. Wants to go near stick outside the boot. Still hits the post. Veraaa inside the first half again. Good build-up play. Great ball through. Touches away from goal. Inside of the post and somehow comes out the other way. And the last one is DOPDA in the 40th, which definitely should have been a goal. But this has been our issue so far, 4 matches in. Ball over the top. Good touch. Inside of the post, comes out. There is no way that hits the inside of the post from that angle and comes out. I would love to see, unless you're playing with square goalposts. That's inside of the post in every day. FM, trying its best to FM me. There we go. If you can see here in the data hub, after this game as well, after 4 matches played, we currently should have had 12 goals. We've only scored, what? 8, 7. It's not good. It's not good at all. At least we're top. We should be second. We should have scored our goals. We haven't scored our goals. It is not great. Start the season off. We have gone 4-0, 1-0, and 1-0. And 1-0. Not good enough, but it is what it is. Next part of the episode is Real Madrid. I had to give you that, YouTube, because when you've gone and had 32 shots, you hit the woodwork 4 times, and you've seen them miss one-on-ones, XG of nearly 4, when you see a highlight in the 94th minute, you have to think you're conceding, don't you? And I was ready to rage and go off my tree. As it stands, we're currently tied top of the table, and it'll be Real Madrid in a second. Don't go anywhere. I'd just like to let everybody know here on YouTube that after complaining that we don't score enough chances, our second string side against Olympiacos in the Champions League just scored 10, including 4 goals in the first 15 minutes. We can score when we want to, just not in the league. But 10-0, not bad. Worthy of putting in the YouTube episode, I thought. Here we are, YouTube. Bernabeu, away from home, Real Madrid. This has taken us over 2 days to get here because I had a bit of a family dinner last night, and parts 1 and 2 you saw from the nights before stream. And of course, live again. Links down below to come follow us live on Twitch. And let's get straight into this. We're 8 games into the league season. Somehow Villarreal have already played 10. Barca have played 9 and gone 2 points. But more importantly, Real Madrid have played 8 games. They're on 19 points. We're the only team to have won 8 straight, which means a win today, and you start getting to that gap of, as long as we're consistent, like we have been all this whole save in La Liga, we'll get to a stage where even if we lose to Madrid, we can still win the league. I know it's crazy to think about it in that way, but honestly, I'm thinking as long as we don't lose this game, we will win out most games and not, and it's just about, can I not lose to Barca? Can I not lose to Madrid in the home leg, and we will win the league? But that's kind of what we need to do. I have to highlight again. They got 104 points with 131 goals, only conceding 27 last year. 97, 94, 94, 102, 98. Last two seasons I finished on 94 points and 94 points. Didn't win the league. It's nearly unheard of. So for me to sit here and say how important this game is, it is the game. This is the season. You lose this game, you know that even though you might stay top for the next 10, 12 weeks, you and Madrid will win the same amount of games. And then eventually they'll beat you again and you do lose the league. That's how it basically happened last year. Or the year before. So this is the moment. Now let's go recap results here as well. I do have an anomaly to speak about though in these results. It's the first time it's happened in this save. I am a compulsive saver of after every game, but we do have to speak about one moment and one discrepancy here. But obviously, his guys should nearly get F1 by Gijon, where you then beat Olympiacos 10-0. And this is where the discrepancy happens. These two games here. So what happens? We played Valencia. We won 4-3 in a thriller. We were 3-1 up, dominating. Valencia then scored the next two shots after the 65th minutes. They had 5 shots, 3 on target, 4 on target, 3 goals. And then we scored 95th minute. So 4-3 win. Great. I then played Granoia. It was 1-1. Tyrone got injured. We were dominating, but yet again 1-1. And then Power went out here at home. I somehow didn't save after the Valencia game as well. More importantly, and this is more important to me, we now needed to go buy another sandwich maker at home. I love my toasted cheese sandwiches. Mum plugged it in and somehow circuited the sandwich maker, thus cutting my power out. So with that being said, we then had to replay the Valencia and the Granoia game. So these two games were played off stream. Now, with the Valencia game, it finished 1-0. We won 4-1, so I just took it. With the Granoia game, I played this game 4 times to try and get a 1-1. All right? And with that too, trying to get a 1-1, I had an 8-0, a 7-0, a 6-1. And then I was like, okay, this is getting too hard. I need to play it once more, that's it. And finished 5-1, I was like, can't do much. There we go. Those are your anomalies. That would have been 3-4. There was enough time to score and go on from 1-1. It was only the 65th, 70th minute, so we could have scored 1, could have turned into 3 or 4. Also could have finished 1-1, who knows. And Tyrone did get an injury, but we don't know how big that injury would have been. He didn't get injured in this game. We then lost to Spurs. We beat Tenerife 1-0. We beat Porto 1-0. We beat Bilbao was the only other game that we've conceded goals in. We won 3-2. It's a bit of a weird season for us, though. If you have a look through these results, a lot of 1-0s. We're dominating games. We can't put chances away. Story of our life. But unlike previous years where we would concede the odd goal and draw a few more games than normal, or we would lose one out of nowhere really late 90th minute, that hasn't happened yet. And it really proves that this 220 million, where we spend it mostly at the back, has been fantastic. We also brought Marco Canesi in as the backup keeper. We sold our backup keeper in Aranguiz for quite a bit of money there to Benfica as well. Doesn't have the best scout report. Was a good backup keeper, but when you can buy a 37, 38-year-old and, just keep rotating an older keeper, it's fine. I'm pretty happy with the team as well. But yeah, look, if you have a look at our data hub before we get into this game too, and no one's making this episode a touch longer, we're meant to have scored 23.2 goals this season. We're down by -6. But so are Barcelona and so are Real Madrid. Usually, Real Madrid are 20 goals plus throughout the entire season. Barcelona usually maybe a goal or two, but they have the occasional season where they have been like this in the last few years that I've been here. Really poor year by me. But the beautiful thing is we've been defensively fantastic, and we are actually first and meant to be top, but meant to be equal points with Barcelona. We're actually past 3 points where we are. Real Madrid are actually, for the first time in 3 seasons since I've been here, and probably since in the whole save, are performing below their expectation, which, is bound to happen eventually. So because 2 of the 3 are green, we're pretty happy with how it's going. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Now, we did just play Porto 1-0. We did fully rotate in this game. Danny Schmidt scored and missed the penalty. But we're in full strength here for this game here. Lucky last thing I need to speak about is a man called Okafor and a man called Wesley Schumacher. Wesley is a little bit injury prone, which is one of the reasons why we didn't take him on, or it was definitely in his conversation we did the pre-game. If you look at injuries, he did pick up a major injury out for the last 2 months with a torn abdominal muscle. And I said to myself, well, Okafor's pretty good as a no-nonsense centre-back. If you have a look at him, he is fantastic as a no-nonsense centre-back on cover. And he's tall. And I want to play him at centre-back for corners and whatever. The man has not put a foot wrong. He's been fantastic. He's been developing. He's arguably our best centre-back now, which is crazy. He's averaging a 7.54 in the league. This man has been a legend. So the signing of $9.5 million that we and ahed and said, yeah, he got the potential, has been fantastic. When he has played as a reserve, backup left back occasionally in this run. He's been fantastic. And at the back, he's been a colossus. He did make a slight mistake in the Champions League final last year against Madrid. Let's hope that doesn't happen here today. Now, without further ado, the rest of the team is full strength and ready to go. Radicic in net, Quizziato, Bizawar, Okafor, and Marfelt. That back four has been world class. Only once have we conceded more than one goal in a game. It was against Veraaa, and they scored 2 goals from 3 shots. It was one of those games where FM tried to FM you. Tyrone and Bellingham have been fantastic. Bellingham has been pretty good, even though he's been slightly declining. Dieter, Doggin has been the best player in the league by now. 5-star. He's up there with the Yongs and everybody that they get tutored with, the Zollies of Barcelona. He is fantastic. Still wanted, but only by Southampton now. Rivieri on the left, who is up to 4-star, been developing quite nicely, the wonder kid. We said that when we signed him, he was going to be fantastic. We've got a 230 mil release fee if someone ever wants him. And Adrian Veraaa up front, still wanted by Chelsea, but they never made a bid. He's having an okay year, 7 and 8, nothing to be scoffed at, but I will say there is a lot of goals that he's given up. So he scored a hat-trick against Veraaa in the 3-2 win, but 0.2 XG, no goal, 0.1 XG, only 6.1, 0.4 XG, 0.94 XG, only 1 goal where you should score a couple more, 0.8 XG against Sporting, didn't score. See what I mean when I'm trying to say here about Veraaa? He's pretty consistent most times throughout, but there's been games where he's missed some big chances, like Tenerife, no goal, 0.62. And we only won 1-0 in the end. So we don't need that to happen today, but the team's pretty well class. We've been fantastic. We're definitely better than Barcelona, I feel. And this Real Madrid side in this 4-4-2 is just next level. Well, let's see how they're lining up because I have made a couple of new signings. Now, Adessa got the assist in that Champions League final, even though it was a goalkeeper mistake and a defensive game error sort of, graphical mistake. Now, they got Leo out on the right-hand side, who's not bad. He's technically aired. We could get at him, I feel. Giovanni's Giovanni. He's class, obviously. Enrico's come in at centre-back at 40 caps for Italy. Pretty good in the air. Great mentals. Pretty good technicals. So, pretty good player to have. Martin Sammartino, who didn't play the Champions League final, was back in the side. Pedro's world-class. We know about Pedro. We know about Pavel because he's world-class. We know about Camavinga because at 35, he's still world-class. And Bryce Galbert has been a pretty good starter for them, the 23-year-old. Does look very good mentally and has okay technicals and physicals as well. Unfortunately for us, Jonathan is back and 100% fit with Brian de Jong. That means the front two, the famous front two are up front, which means we're in trouble. And they got Iker Aguirre and Andre Terekian on the bench. You're in trouble. You're in big amounts of trouble. It's a very good side. Mulgala on the bench as well. He normally starts left back. Yeah, they're good. We know they're good. Let's get into it, though. It's obviously been 8 minutes to get to this point, and plus the other 2 parts. So apologies for how long it is, but, it kind of needs to be spoken about. There's a lot on the line for this season. I want to see us win. It's Real Madrid in the white. We're going to be in our away strip, I would imagine, here as well, in the blackish sort of kit that we'll have here. Have a look at the table. A win today would be huge. Even a draw to put us 3 points clear of Barca is not too bad because we have beaten Barca and it acts as an extra point in this circumstance because it results against teams. Anyway, I'm looking for a good performance. Definitely going forward to 3-1 because our team's in very, very good shape. Wesley will be back in the starting 11 for Okafor at some point, but that will happen in its due course, not today because he's not 100%. Now, Bellingham has a corner. Okafor's front stick. Okafor's there and he's headed over at 6'5". It's what he's there for when he does play centre-back, is that moment. And that's a big moment, and it's still 0-0. But more importantly, usually we get pumped away from home by Madrid. It's even out here, which is fantastic. Marfelt finds Rivieri. He looks inside. It's cut off. Pedro's quick, but Dogana wins. It falls back to Tekurian, which means they've made a sub. Someone's come off injured for Real Madrid. Jonifus is injured. I'm no longer Brazilian manager, but I hope he's okay. And Okafor, ball inside, finds Bellingham. Tyrone now, needs a runner. Dieter. Quizziato's quick enough to beat everybody down this channel. World Cup Player of the Year. Cuts it. Dogana straight at Adessa. How much of a big chance that is. On the penalty spot. Free volley. Has to score. Massive moment. 0-0. That has to be a goal. But this is the best we've played away from home against Real Madrid in this entire save. Long throw looking for Okafor. Hits it. Adessa. What a world-class save. Non-preferred right foot and Adessa's got bottom bins. And like Palacios at Barcelona, the keepers are just having worldies against me. Okafor heads, Adessa saves it. Okafor misses the rebound and passes it straight to Adessa. Wow. It should be 1-0 Atletico Madrid and it's not. And that is an issue when you're playing Barcelona. Veraaa picks it up, needs a runner. Riviere inside, hits it into the post. We have dominated Real Madrid and it is 0-0. We have dominated Real Madrid and it is 0-0. After half-time, we should be in the lead. It's not happening. I'm actually going to tell it was a very good half. I often don't say that at 0-0, but I'm going to say that here because that's the best we've played. I will say, though, we have 2 bookings at the back, and that's not exactly something you want to see. But we're going to continue on here. Now Cusiero gets booked. I don't like that there's so many bookings in the back, but it is what it is. Somehow, though, it's 0-0, and Real Madrid will get one moment. It's Real Madrid, of course they're going to get one moment. Now, I just don't like these bookings at the back. So, Wesley's going to come back in to eliminate one. I don't want to really bring Rafael Montero in, but he's the right back, the one that we'll choose, so in he comes as well. And up front, it's not been the best of the day. I'm actually going to bring in Danny Schmidden because he's been fantastic for us off the left. He's a big game player. And I think Kulic on for Riviere as well because he knows how to create. There's some changes there. 2 of the back 4 that had bookings are off. Now, if we concede, I'm going to feel very aggrieved because we've dominated here. Pedro on a run. Pavel cleared by Montero. Very well done. But that's the moment for Real Madrid. That's the thing. There's always going to be a moment against Real Madrid. 76 minutes played. Bellingham's not whatever. I'm going to bring Milos on because he's a pretty good player. And Milos is going to come in here. But I'm actually going to move him off there. I'm actually going to get him into a bit of a roaming playmaker. Want him just to get on the ball and create. Don't get caught going too far forward though. Time ticks away. We've been the better side, but 0-0. Not much to write home about. Is there a moment late? There could be. Bizarre. Wesley Schumacher back from injury. Pumps one, looking for some runner. Didn't find anyone. And Tekkeren's been picked up by Marfelt, who's been fantastic as well. Wesley now. Milos. Tyrone looks for Veraaa. Good touch. Kulic. Runners. Didn't find the pass. It was on there. Good win by Schumacher. Falls back to him. Milos though. Dogger's feet. Turns out. Needs a runner. Who did you pick out? No one. Dogger now. Still falls with Dogger. Needs help. Still going Dogger. Cuts it in there. Cleared away. Maybe it's Lefebvre on the break. This would be heartbreak if it's Real Madrid. It would be heartbreak. They're on here. Obanovich. Against the runner play. Lefebvre. Tekkeren. You can't beat him, man. It's so bullshit. Undeserved. And in the 90th minute, we concede late again against Real Madrid and we can't beat him. Lefebvre with a ball through. Tekkeren off the bench is on for Jonifus. Bottom bin 1-0. We've had majority of the game. We've dominated most of the game and we're the team that are going to walk with a loss here. That is ridiculous. Unless Tyrone. Ball out to Marfelt. What a ball, but that's going to be cut off. Tyrone wins it back. Kulic. Dogger. Poor touch. It's got to be 2-0. It's not. There's not long left here. Is there a moment? Schumacher. Marfelt. Dogger. Tyrone needs a runner. Kulic now. Inside the Milos. Needs a good ball. Montero. Knows how to cut him. Goes down the line. Cuts it. Veraaa! 1-1, 93rd minute. Come on, the boys. And that's the difference from last season, the year before, to this year. Usually we're dead. Usually we're buried. Usually it's game over. Usually it's a negative. You're down 3 points, whatever. And from the jaws of defeat, we snatch a draw. And well, Real Madrid, what a point it could be. Veraaa through Montero to Veraaa through a Dethrone in. It's 1-1. It's all she wrote. Real Madrid are lucky that we didn't put chances away, or else it could have been league over today. Instead, it's a point. It's a massive point because guess what? On paper, we never should have lost. And in terms of performance, we never should have lost. And it means in the league, we're 3 points clear of Barcelona and we're 5 points clear of Real Madrid. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with that. We achieved what we needed to stay more than 2 games ahead of Real Madrid. Now, next episode, obviously, these games are more massive here in terms of the contents of the league against Real Madrid and Barcelona. I might try and find a game in and around here because we don't play Barcelona till the end of Jan. So I might try and find a game, or maybe give Barcelona at the end of January. More importantly, we play Real Madrid in March, which means we need to do a run home of some sort to win the league. So, with that being said, next episode probably could be Barcelona, but it might be maybe one of these games in here as well, just to see how we're going. Maybe, a Real San Sebastian at the start of January, maybe not, maybe a game around Villarreal. Who knows? Depending on what's going on. Villarreal still having a good year. Maybe they're the team that we do it against. But that's what we're going to do. It's a late goal for Odessa. We absolutely dominated. Give it a like. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you look at the game according to the data hub. We had big spurts. We were dominant. But a fairly even game in outs. Yet again, XG 2. Only scored 1 goal. But underperforming goals-wise. But we have got the league title at the moment, because we are the team on top after 9 games played. Till next time, give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube episode. I'll see you then. Thank you and goodbye.